Hi, I'm Peter Rose, founder of Longwood Currency Trading. I have a warning for those of you who are 30 to 50 years old. You need to consider what could happen to you if you lose your job. Look, I've been around a long time as a software engineer, employed for 33 years, among all the other things that I've done. I've been laid off plenty of times in my life when I was young and when I was older, even in my mid-50s. What are you going to do? I know you have a 401k, you got an IRA on the side, you've got some savings, got checking accounts, you get 2 jet skis, your apartment rent is pushing $2,500 a month, if not more than that. Your tax bill on your condo, if you happen to own one, is $7,000, $8,000 a year. Condo fees, about the same. Car payments, where's the income going to pay for that? So the warning is, what are you going to do? In my own personal case, I was investing in real estate. I did real estate investment for 40 years. That's what I was able to retire on. Not the 33 or 5-year or so career that I had working as a software engineer. that paid the bills and provided vacations to Disney World with the kids and going out to dinner. And I was fortunate enough, lived on the water. I didn't have a really bad mortgage, but I lost my job during all that stuff too. And it was tough. There were years where I didn't pay my real estate taxes for a couple of years because I didn't have the money to do that. And then at the 2-year point when they're ready to throw the hammer on you, I got some money together and paid a year's worth of taxes. But I knew the rules of the game early on because, again, I was investing in real estate. And my loan-to-value ratio was very low. And so though the value of the property has dropped, I lost $1 million twice in my life. And it took me 10 years each time to make that $1 million back. But I didn't lose the property because it went below mortgage value or whatever. My mortgage values were characteristically around 40% of the value of the property anytime there was a crash that came along. So the property would drop 20 or 30%, maybe 35%. And so all my value was wiped out, my net profit was wiped out, but I still retained the base asset. And I had income from that real estate in order to supplement unemployment and all that other stuff. It was tight though. We had to really buckle it down. But I knew the game and I had been through it before and I understood what to do. What are you going to do? You think you may be in good shape, but you should sit down, run a balance sheet, run a P&L statement on yourself and see where you stand. And then cut that income line off of that spreadsheet and see what happens to things and figure out, well, where's the money going to come from that? The last thing you want to do is dip into your IRA or your 401k because that's a gift. That's building tax-free. And that's what you're going to need when you're 65 or 75 and you retire and you're going to start drawing off of that 401k or that IRA at that point in a required minimum distribution, which when you're 73, I think it's 73 now, you are forced to start pulling off 4% of the balance a year. And that increases because they want the income from that 401k IRA to be gone by the time you're dead because they want to tax all the money as you take it out. So the money grows tax-free, but you still pay taxes on the way out. And they force you to pay those taxes by forcing you to take that money out. If you don't know this stuff, go find yourself a financial planner, even if you're 30 years old, and make sure you're understanding the rules of the game so you can better position yourself if things go to shit for you. What's the purpose of this video? I'm not talking about what you can do. I'm trying to warn you ahead of time as to what could happen if you lose that job. What can you do today send me an email and tell me what your particular situation is and see if Forex trading, whether you're trading or you're just thinking about getting started, although I generally don't work with folks that haven't started Forex trading, because I work with folks that have been trading for, I don't know, 6 months or a year, and they haven't been having the success that they feel they need to have to build that foundation. Well, you already know that the Forex market is good because you've been trading. That's why I don't take beginners, because I don't want to convince anybody. I'm not trying to get anybody to buy a course. I'm not trying to sell a course. I'm trying to present an option for you. And if you're in that 30 to 50-year-old age group, particularly as you get closer to that 50-year-old group where age discrimination takes place, and then you start hitting 55, 60, and now you've got medical issues, or your body's just wearing down and you can't be an auto mechanic anymore, or a chimney sweep, or whatever it is that you're doing that's physically oriented. What have you done to prepare for not having an income stream? Whether it's because you're retired and you don't have a job, or because you're laid off from your job. If you go to my website, longwoodcurrencytrading.com, pretty simple, there's a tab there on the menu for the currency trading page. Go to that page and read the 7 reasons why I think and why I chose currency trading over continuing to invest in real estate. Now, yes, I have been very open with everybody. I've lost a ton of money. I've made a lot of money too. I mean, as I've gone along, if you go back in my videos, there have been months back in 2024 when I had a huge planet killer trade. There were 3 months there where I made $30,000 a month. So I've made big money as well as have lost big money. And I'm still trading. I've got a position on right now with a limit order that, I mean, it's not active right now, but the limit orders are in to trigger. And here I am talking with you guys because I have full confidence in what I'm doing. I've chosen the currency market because I'm the boss. I'm in charge. If I fail, it's my fault. Can't look at anybody else and say, well, that asshole took my idea and ran with it and he gets credit for it. And so I now appear worthless. There's none of that delusion. And if you're working in any kind of job, there's an 85% chance, because 85% of the W-2 working population in the United States today doesn't like their job. They're in their job because maybe they were good at the thing, or their uncle opened the door for them and said, hey, I've got a construction company here. Why don't you come and work as a finished carpenter, because you've been working carpenter all your life, or you're in a corporate environment and whatever it is that you're doing. So you're a hard worker, you're working your way through, you're making money, and all of a sudden that income is gone because you broke your leg or whatever, or you get sick. If you start now, if you send me an email now, so you can at least find out what I have to offer. I promise I am not trying to sell you my course. I'm a sole proprietor in Longwood Currency Trading. I don't have a team. I'm not going to hire a team. I'm 76 years old. I'm not interested in that shit. I'm interested in doing what I've done for 57 years, teaching karate and self-defense, working with folks to help them defend themselves in the street and to become better people by the confidence they develop in themselves. I am a professional educator. I love education, and I'm good at it. And I'm transferring that information and skills from teaching martial arts, where I still have students that have been with me for 40, 50 years. So when I just went to have dinner at one of my students who's been with me for, I don't know, 45 years, something like that. And we're still in contact, go to dinner with them. That's the community that I have in martial arts. And I am starting to build that community in my FOREX fast track course and the consulting that I do. I'm trying to build an environment for you where I'm personally working with you on that course. because it's insufficient to send you a PDF file and say, good luck. It's insufficient to go online to take an online course with 22 modules and all this reading and the videos, because there's nobody there in real time that you can ask a question of when you need that question answered, not when the group chat comes on. Maybe a group chat and a community are great things when you're teaching people how to have website businesses and all the people are getting together and they're not competing with each other or whatever, and they share information. But it's still the blind leading the blind. That's why they're taking the course. They're taking the course to get instruction from the instructor, not to have a community of other people just as dumb as they are and they're swapping around bad information. Unless the moderator is there all the time. And they're not. They hire staff because they have so many people they're working with, they can't manage a group chat. They can't manage a Discord group. That's why I only want to work with a few people. I want to get paid well for it, and I do. But look, I'm not working with you to show you how to make $500 a year. I'm not working with you to show you to take a $500 account at 200 to 1 leverage and make that $3,000 and do that 3 times a year so you can make $12,000 a year. What the fuck good is that? First of all that leverage that people are trying to get you to use it's invalid. It's a time bomb. I use practical training. Look, I taught people how to defend themselves on the street, not how to stand up in a bar room and say, hey, all you hillbilly hicks, let's go, and pick up a beer mug and slap somebody, and that's how you learn how to fight. That isn't the way that you learn how to do currency trading, is by working with some yahoo that stumbled his way through, and now God love him, he's making $1 million a year. That's great. But he's not going to be able to teach you, I guarantee, because teaching and education is a skill. People get paid a lot of money. College professors get paid a lot of money to teach. They don't just hand you a book and you can pass the test. You have to have somebody there. I'm an educator, so I have to be there. But I don't want to run a training business. I want to work with just really serious people. Come to me with some basic experience or knowledge of Forex and ask me a question. I don't understand why this isn't working. And in that email conversation, or maybe we'll even get on a Zoom call and we'll chat about it. This is your problem. Okay, this is what I do. This is how I would think about that. Tell me more about yourself so I'm sure that I'm matching your goals and skills and abilities and all that up with the problem that you're presenting me. Because what I would tell a 50-year-old is very different than what I would tell a 30-year-old or a 22-year-old. I want to get to know you. That takes time. It takes time on my part and it takes time on your part. And that's why I don't have a lot of people. I don't have to worry about a lot of people contacting me because most of the people don't want to do any work. So most of the people, 95% of them, are going to lose their money in Forex. The people that get good education are the 10% or the 5%, call it 10%, that are going to be successful. That 10% of people are going to make the money that the 90% of the people lost. Do the math on that and figure out how much money you can make. No wonder it's possible to make so much money. So when we're talking about this stuff on a Zoom call, after you contact me, all I'm trying to do is get to know you so that the advice that I give you is the best that it can be for who you are, not for who I am. I got to turn the thing here because it's a really bright sunny day, going to be 100 degrees today in New England, and I'm going to get done with this video. I got my coffee I'm going to finish, and then I'm going to go watch that position. The Fast Track program will work with you over a 4 to 6 week period of time. Generally, it's 4 weeks to learn all the stuff, and then the other 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks, because you can get, God, I've had people read the whole course book twice in 2 weeks and be able to discourse rationally with me about it. They don't know how to put the pieces into place, but we can talk about it. And because I have them read the full course book ahead of time. There's no surprises. So that at the end of the book, oh, the butler did it. Well, you have no fucking idea because you didn't follow the right clues. I want you to know that the butler did it. And then we're going to go through the whole course and we're going to show you how we know that the butler did it. That's education. And so when we discuss this, I'll show you how I teach, how I work with you. And it's your option there as to if you want to ask me, well, tell me more about the course. I'm just going to tell you what the course does here. But if you want to take the time to contact me, I'll spend some time with you at no charge. And I can do that because I don't have a lot of people that I'm working with. That's to your advantage. Yeah, it's going to cost you a lot more money than probably it would, but what are you trying to do? You're trying to, like I said, make $3,000 a year? Well, that's fine. If that's all the money that you have, you make it, maybe all you have is a $10,000 bank, and you're going to trade at 10-to-1 leverage like I teach you how to do, and maybe you make $3,000 a year on that bank, and that supplements your Social Security. The average Social Security check today is $1,800. This is 2025. Where I live, you can't even hardly find an apartment for rent for $1,800, let alone that's all the money that you make on Social Security. We're talking some serious ramifications for you if you're 30, 35, 50 years old and you lose your job, you lose that income while you haven't taken the time to divest yourself of the expenses that you have as a homeowner or renter or whatever it is that you have. Boy, the dangers are there. Please send me an email. Let's chat about this stuff because it's critical for you to at least know what's available. When you're watching these videos and some guy's driving their Lambo and they've set their order, and when they come back after their gym workout and their smoothies and they've made $4,000 in 2 hours, or they make $8,000 in a day, boom, it's magic. It looks great. It looks simple. It is simple, but not if you don't know how to do it. And you're not going to learn it from them because they don't know how to teach it. They lost thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, maybe hundreds of thousands in order to learn what they are doing now. But that doesn't mean that they can teach you. I can teach you because I'm a professional educator. That's my edge. That's my skill. That's my hook. So if you want to learn this stuff, and you don't have to trust me on anything, you get on a Zoom call with me and I'll tell you how trading education should be presented and how you build rules and what you need to do. You're not going to be able to implement any of that. You need somebody to implement. There's the what, the how, and the when. So I can tell you all about the what. I'm doing that now. I can even show you how to do some of it, the simple stuff, so that you can see how it all glues together. But you still won't be able to implement it the way that the program would allow you to implement it because you don't know when to do that. And there's a lot of factors to that when. And so all I'm asking is for a little bit of your time to email me to see if there's some compatibility between us. So whether you'd be interested in getting on a Zoom call and talking in more detail than email, I don't mind. I get emails all the time from people. I've been trading for 2 years. I'm not having the success I have. This is what happens. What do you think? And I'll email them back and I say, this is what I think you ought to do. And that should, work on that. And then let me know. And they go, really? I hadn't thought about that. Now, 90% of the people never bother to call me back and thank me or anything at all. So I don't know whether they did it and it worked or not. But those that do will call me back and say, hey, now that I've fixed that, I'm seeing that I'm still not jamming all cylinders here. Help me out. Well, what's your problem? Well, this is the problem. Okay, try this. And if that doesn't work, then really you have a problem in the process, not in the thing that you're doing, but in the process. I can't help you with process. You need to take a course for that. So if you want to talk to me about the course, I'll be happy to talk to you about the course. If you don't want to talk about the course and you want to do this on your own, That's fine. I don't mind helping you out because that's what I did in martial arts and continue to do it in martial arts. Somebody says, geez, I'm having trouble getting out of the chokehold. How do I do that? Well, try this or punch them here. And it's simple because I don't show them 2 years of karate in order to solve a simple problem. And I don't need to show you everything about trading, nor do you need to learn everything about trading in order to be competent in solving one particular problem, if you have one problem to solve. So send me an email, let's talk about it and see what your options are, because ask yourself the question, what would happen if I lost my job tomorrow? What condition am I in? Even if I'm able to get my job, it may take me 2 or 3, 4 years to get that, months to get that job back. I've lost 4 months of income. What happens to my standard of living and the jeopardy I place myself in by losing 4 months, a quarter of my income? How do I recover from that? And what happens if it takes me 6 months? It took me 8 months one time to get a new job. I was in my 50s. I was fighting discrimination. Well, it happened one other time. I was in my 30s and lost a job. It took me 8 months too, so 2 times. It's critical that you take steps now to learn how to do this Forex trading, because if you can, under my guidelines, and I'm not going to discuss what those guidelines are in a video, but if you contact me and we have a Zoom call, I can tell you what the expected percentage returns on your money and your growth and all that should be based on the mathematics of how the rules are set up. Got my bachelor's degree in physics and almost a minor in math. I can present that stuff. I've helped people with math and physics before. And I've taught karate using the principles of physics and math. So if karate people can understand it, I'm sure you smart folks out there that are doing currency trading are going to be able to understand it as well. And it's simple. It's not physics. It's arithmetic, a little algebra. And I can show you what's possible. Now, is it possible for you to do that? Yeah. Is it likely that you'll be able to do that if you do everything? No, I don't know. I don't know. But you don't know anything right now because I'm sure that you don't have the proper education. I did the education when I started out in currency trading in 2007. And again, this is 2025. Watching the videos and reading the books and taking courses, just like you're doing right now. And when I funded my first big account, $45,000, I lost $40,000 of that in about 4.5 months. And I stepped back from that and I said, wait a minute. I've done all this work from 2007 to 2012 before I tried trading a mini lot, and I lost that. I traded another mini lot and I lost that. I figured I needed more education. So from 2012 to 2017, I got more education, took courses. So I did all that work. That's the work that you're doing right now. I lost $40,000 because of that. And I can tell you that for a fact because I backed off from it and I used my software engineering skills as an educator looking at the market. They were teaching to solve the wrong problem. And they even weren't providing the correct solution for the problem that they were solving. In 15 minutes, I've said this in all my videos. You can go back to 2020 when I started this YouTube channel. In 15 minutes on a piece of legal paper, I wrote down the life cycle of a currency position, and there are 3 rules, and each rule has between 2 and 4 conditions to it that are sequentially organized. And it's that life cycle of a currency position that I applied against my remaining $5,000. And I doubled that I was within $200 of doubling that in 4.5 months. That was the difference in bad education and good education. So give me an opportunity to explain that to you. I'm not taking a lot of people on. I'm ready at this point. I had a hip replacement last year, and then I got pneumonia, and then I got bronchitis, and I've had 2 cataracts surgeries. I'm ready to go. And I have the time, because I'm retired, to work with a handful of people that really want to do this. So take advantage of this and get a hold of me and see if you even qualify, because I don't take everybody. because I don't have time to convince people that what I'm doing is right. I don't have time to show you the basic, fundamental, rudimentary stuff. If you don't know what you're doing and you're just trying to first get started in Forex, you know that I can't help you because I teach intermediate level stuff. But if you come to me, I will give you a beginner course introduction that you study up on and give you references for stuff that you need to learn that will give you the base knowledge. And then you can take that fast track course because it's not that difficult. It's just that you can't take it if you don't know anything about Forex. That'd be like, you don't know how to drive yet, so I'm going to start you out in a Ferrari. I don't think you do too good, right? Okay, let's be logical about this and reasonable about this. Please sit back if you're in that 30 to 50-year-old age group or older. What's going to happen if you lose your job tomorrow? And if you're already lost your job or you're in retirement, how's that working out for you? And is there a desire on your part to have a little bit more cash flow? Maybe you only need $3,000 or $4,000 a year. Man, that's easy to do if you have a large enough account. But you can't do it on a $500 account or a $3,000 account. You can't. You cannot do it. It's 99.99% for sure, absolutely, positively, that you won't be able to do it. Some of you will sneak through and you'll just get lucky, like the guy that runs through the minefield and he gets to the other side. He goes, oh, I know what I'm doing. But the chances are 95% against you. You know, we have a thing in the currency field out there that they talk about the 90-90-90 rule. And it was a statistic that's real that came out of the study of a major Forex broker many, many years ago. Over 25,000 of their clients, 43 million transactions, found that 90% of their traders lost 90% of their money in 90 days. That's what their statistics found. The strange thing is that the 90% of the traders that lost their money in 90 days had 72% winners. Now you explain to me how if they've done all this education and all this shit, that you can have 72% of your trades be winners and yet you have a 90% chance of failure. That's what's against you in the currency market. And that's why so many people have left the currency market to go trade crypto. And they get wiped out in crypto. They've got nowhere else to go, so they're not bad talking crypto. But they're bad talking Forex and saying Forex is a scam and blah, 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 because they're gone to the holy grail of crypto. Find somebody that's been trading crypto for more than 3 months and see how that goes. And it doesn't work out any better and probably worse than Forex because crypto has no base of value right now. But if you learn how to trade Forex, the good news is you can then take those skills and trade crypto if you want. You can trade bonds. You can trade old tires. You can trade stocks. You can trade commodities. But it isn't. I was talking with a guy in the email the other day. He's trading small cap stocks. If you're listening out there, I'm not dumping on you, Tony, but you can't transfer those skills, trading small cap stocks, and into Forex. And as I told you in the email that I sent to you, Tony, you're not going to be successful doing that. And I know you don't want to take my course. I know you don't want to pay the money for it. And you've told me in several of your emails you're going to do it on your own and you're going to figure it out on your own. Maybe it's a challenge for you. Maybe you're an engineer and you think you're going to figure that out. But it's 95% against you that you're going to take those skills. In fact, it'll be detrimental to you. So please, if you're out there, send me an email and let's get together and chat about this stuff. Peter Rose, Longwood Currency Trading. Have a great day and have a great trading day.